connected to us that already does programming. Like, you know, a lot of times people extract from local orgs as opposed to like, we can work side by side.
Yeah.
So just make sure people know we have a summer camp that runs all summer long, you don't stop. We have a teen center at the Harbor Pavilion too. So we do all man summer youth engagement out of the teen center. Right, so you see people on the vest, they just did an article about it at the Marcy office.
Yep.
That's right at the teen center. And I said, just really trying to make sure people understand, especially right now, all the stuff that's working.
Yep.
So we can make sure, you know, we have a productive, solution-oriented conversation, you know.
Absolutely. And I will be your mediator to the upstairs.
I'm not a mediator, they may be mediator.
And so we go into the reality that this isn't the first time B360 attended community associations throughout Baltimore City, East, West, and South Baltimore. And we say,
Sorry to interrupt. We're gonna get started in a minute.
okay.
Thank you for coming.
He's summoning.
Yes, yeah.
Y'all can give me 30 seconds or you get cut short. All right, so what I was reiterating is the fact that B360 is not the first time being at community association meeting and showing up as an asset to reposition what community looks like as an inclusion practice for everyone, right? And the reality is that we've done it for the Patterson Park community and you've seen a reduction in what you all or how others may perceive it. And it shows what the asset approaches could be if you include organizations and community partners like B360. So I know oftentimes we think like this could be an offset or a singular activity. It is something that we've been ahead of from community to community, and it's just the timely one where it's brought up to you all today to do that. But we've seen it before. It won't be our first time around the bush. But let's say that we've grounded roots in making sure that we positively understand how to be inclusive of all of Baltimore. Right, so I just wanted to reiterate that as we go upstairs, all right?
I appreciate that.
Karina Beach, Black Star Beach for our show in here there. You got that right. So anyway, you got these motorcycles going up and down the sidewalk. Walks, right?
Do you mean police motorcycles?
No, I'm
Okay.
talking about the dirt bike.
Okay.
So I went out there and I called the 911 line. They didn't show up. They didn't want to help. Called the 911 line again. They didn't show up. They didn't want to help. So I took my damn slingshot out there with ice cubes. And I am the one with the machete, just in case anybody was wondering about it. I was willing to take their fucking hands off. So what are you gonna do about them riding up and down the sidewalk?
My first, so I have to be a good steward of the whole community. My first thing is slingshots, ice cubes, and motorcycle riders is not something I can find acceptable. So I would discourage that as a response.
What, so I'm gonna have to put out the dirt bikes going up and down my sidewalk? Because Brandon, what's his name?
Mayor Scott.
Yeah, is that his name?
Mayor Scott.
Yeah, Brandon Scott.
Mayor Scott.
Because he said that's Baltimore culture. I'm from Texas. We got a whole nother different culture.
Okay, and we can't import cultural mores in a sense that puts others at risk.
I'm telling you now, you can't import people that are gonna keep our streets straight, okay? You need to keep our streets safe. This is not ridiculously available where you got strollers with babies in them, and you got dirt bikes riding down the sidewalk.
Right, but I would interject.
And you think it's Baltimore culture? I'm gonna ask you that right up front. Is that Baltimore culture or is that chaos?
A slingshot?
I am a fair, neutral, unbiased steward of public safety. All I can
Oh,
say.
Brandon Scott calls it
Well, let
culture.
me jump in one. Please, let me jump in one. Not one motorcycle represents every motorcycle rider. So you may have observed one unlawful behavior, but I would not apply that to every single person.
I've seen it, I live on my
That's
street.
on regular here in this area.
It's regular, it's every dance day.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, LaShawn.
Certainly, we do want to step up enforcement for illegal dirt bike operation. I know the city integrates with B360. They've actually been part of an event that I had to supervise last year. It was the Maryland Cycling Classic. They came. I need to make it clear that we're going to single out illegal behavior. If I can be clear on that, it is the behavior that we look at. So we do work with the Summer Youth Engagement Program to enforce the curfew as we see it applicable in the moment.
So what's the time of curfew?
I knew that was coming. It changes based on the school year, and it's probably the one question I can't answer.
Right now, it's 9 PM at Rash Field,
Okay.
and we've got dusk at Bentonville Park. And in a moment, we're actually going to hear from the mayor's office of neighborhood safety. And so we can address those questions.
What do you endorse everything that's applicant?
You said Monty is next?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
Does anyone have any remaining questions for our colleagues at the Baltimore Police Department?
Yeah, anyway, to let this person be where it goes through. I'm going to the meeting for you. Honestly, so, then I told you, there's this one.
I have a question online.
Again.
We're going to continue on here in a second with Captain Edmondson from the Southern District to provide the district's perspective on crime in the community. I do just want to ask something of all of you, as I've done on numerous occasions in the past. If you can imagine the level of resources we've seen deployed here in Federal Hill over the past several weeks has not been an easy lift. It hasn't. And I would just appreciate everyone in this room maintaining a level of respect for every single person who has shown up here in this room tonight. If they're here in this room tonight in their capacity as a private citizen, as a neighbor, as a community leader, as a representative of the mayor's office, as a representative of the Baltimore Police Department, they are giving us their time and their energy focused on solutions to prevent crime here in the community. I just want to remind you all of that and express my hope as I do this work that you will be respectful of them. So just putting that out there again, I'm sorry to say that, but I appreciate your cooperation in that.
Up next, we have B360. Before they come up, I just want to say, I've made this mistake before interactions with B360. Like, B360 does not represent all dirt bikes. Like, they are fundamentally a STEM education nonprofit that teaches STEM through dirt bikes, right? More or less, you can correct me. So I know there's strong feelings about dirt bikes and B360. Again, please just be respectful to everyone involved. They are going to provide some solutions that they think can make our streets safer and potentially make the problems from dirt bikes less disruptive to us as well as them. Yes.
I'm Brittany Young. I'm the founder and CEO of B360, and Kylie can introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Kala. I'm a junior instructor at B360. My role is to teach kids how to ride dirt bikes, teach them how to fix it, teach them about STEM.
But our big thing, right, our bottom line period is just all about safety. My favorite thing to tell people is I'm born and raised, never leaving Baltimore, I'm from Northwest Baltimore, I eat Park Heights, and then I love the city, so of course I had to come down here to see the festival, so I'm excited to be here. In our lifetime, we just turned 9, we serve over 13,000 young people, right, but moving to a solution, right, we're all about, like, everyone has to coexist in Baltimore. The larger problem is not just dirt bikes, it's not just the e-bikes, it's not just skateboarders, it's not just pedestrians. But what everyone is saying is we want our streets to be slower and safer, right? That if I want to cross Key Highway, I should be able to without a car hitting me, without a dirt bike hitting me, without a skateboarder hitting me, without the electric scooters and all that kind of stuff. So for about 4+ years now, we've been talking to specifically about this neighborhood association, from Councilman Blanchard to the last council person, is just infrastructure, right? The reason that people ride in this neighborhood specifically is it's a hot zone, it's an entertainment district, it's all of the fun things to do. But also, from a riding standpoint, I like to drive fast. And I know I can drive fast down Key Highway because all the lights turn green at the same time. Right, y'all have the best paved streets. It is the perfect on-ramp for my car, it's the perfect on-ramp for a skateboarder, it's a perfect on-ramp for a dirt bike rider. And what would discourage me from doing 70 miles an hour in my nice car that I like to go faster is speed humps. I won't come downtown. In Fells Point, we also see working is like the bike racks, right? So actually blocking off the streets. We know that if you're in Fells Point, after 9 p.m., it's one way in and it's one way out. You can't park your car, you can't go past, right? So a lot of stuff that we see working with your neighbors is also not always implemented on this side. So my big push is how can we have better infrastructure, right? So this is not a policing issue solely. It's not just a programming community issue solely, but simple things like infrastructure go a long way. I know the Muncie officers come behind me, and then what they do is they are boots on the ground. So we have a teen center right at the Harbor Pavilion. Every weekend, since 3 weeks ago, our summer has begun. That means that teen center is active with the Muncie office at the helm, of making sure that all of Baltimore are safe, but specifically all of the stuff downtown. And so you'll see people in the vest. They make sure the young people aren't smoking, aren't drinking, kind of like what I just mentioned, right? Is how do you build a culture of safety, period. But my job on B360, kind of representing dirt bikes, is just get people more familiar with, if you build infrastructure, they will go, right? And y'all don't have infrastructure. So I just want to really focus on solutions, what's working, and then helping to redirect people to us and our services, not going outside with just slingshots. That's not going to be productive. But to really focus on young people like Kyler, who are 11 years old and up, who work at B360, that have some employment. We have our summer camp, which serves over 400 young people, where we provide a dedicated safe space. So think again, it's not about just popping at Willie, right? That's fun. But we take people out of traffic into programming. We are the diversion program for Baltimore City too, right? So instead of people going directly to jail, you have the opportunity to work with us. And so again, just focusing on infrastructure, pipeline and programming. And then the last piece, which maybe Michelle will talk about later, is also just changing policy as a whole, because most people don't know possession of dirt bikes in this community, right? So people don't even understand that having a bike is illegal, having an outreach to have a bike is illegal. And then again, how do we have just slower, safer communities, because we have policy in place that makes infrastructure easier to do. And I just talked too much. Any questions from us? You got something? What you want to say? Actually, no, you didn't. Talk to us. Why you out? What do you do? What's your job? Too late. You here. What do you do? Like, what's your job?
So, like I said again, I basically just teach kids how to ride dirt bikes, teach them how to fix them, teach them about STEM. Yeah, that's really it though.
What would you want them to know about you?
Oh, so I was once a camper, and I was learning about what I'm teaching. So I work at B360 now, and I'm doing the same thing that I was. So I'm 13. Oh.
We should go there.
A little bit.
Yes.
I guess I'm confused. Lori Seraphin, I live over here in Montgomery. I thought I understood you say that they're illegal, or that it's a misdemeanor. Are dirt bikes illegal in the city?
Yes, it is a misdemeanor.
So
I
I guess I don't understand then why we have to encourage it. I'm concerned about the kids. I'm concerned about walking my dog. I'm concerned about the babies. I work at a hospital. I see kids come into the intensive care unit with head wounds. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I think I'm confused too. Because we didn't say encourage riding in traffic. I thought it was a dialogue, or was it a question? No, okay. Yeah, so the confusion is we did not say encourage people to ride in traffic. We said have infrastructure, make sure we have programming, and then safe conversations, right, so you can understand why people ride. But it's not a question of should people ride the streets. We never said that. We said make sure you have infrastructure to get people out of the streets, and then pipeline and programming, so you have a dedicated space to do so. Any other questions for us?
You said that you get them off the streets,
Mhm.
you give them dedicated infrastructure to ride. What does that mean? Do you have like parks? Where do they get to ride?
No, that's a good question. You want to talk about something? You up here working, Scotty. Come on, Kyle. Where do you work at? You can talk about summer camp. Where do you ride?
So last year our summer camp was at 3000 East Madison Street over the field. So right now they're building a ramp. That's where summer camp was at last year.
I'm right now, it's school rain. But we also, kind of with the sergeant's mission, we create the event that is right on Pratt Street. So every Labor Day weekend, Baltimore gets shut down to run a Cycle Classic. And then we are legally allowed to ride and permitted, so we travel in our bikes to do a show. Right, so again, our side is positive enforcement. So we have the summer camp, which is about 15 acres where people ride their bikes all summer long. They also fix them, they learn the interior design process. And then at the end of the summer, we also create an event like a freestyle competition that happens right in your backyard on Pratt Street for the last 3 years.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. I think STEM is a great program. I'm not really sure why we're sort of purchasing dirt bikes for the kids and teaching them all of this when it really is an illegal activity, which is impacting a lot of the city. And if they just went to the 15 acres and rode around, I get it. I don't understand why we're promoting, we provide infrastructure here. And you, like you said, I mean, you're setting them up with the dirt bikes, just like you're driving your car fast down the highway. I mean, it's not legal, it's not a legal activity. And, STEM can be teaching them about drones and other things. I talk to the kids at the park, I've talked to groups of them that have the new shiny dirt bikes that are blue and yellow and red. And they said they were walked through the program.
They didn't say that.
Well, no.
They didn't say that.
Well, I have neighbors that see me talk to groups of kids all the time, and yes, they do.
They did.
Okay, well, we had Friday night on my block, which is a block and a half away, a dirt bike went in the air and hit 2 moving cars. Almost could have killed a resident that lives on Hamburg Street. The side of his car is all dented, it's close to the window. So, I mean, we're really struggling here with the dirt bike activity. Like you said, we're a destination for a lot of things. But I really think B360 needs to regroup and think about, well, I can have my opinion about what we're doing in Baltimore City. I was just in Pittsburgh, I didn't see a dirt bike. Anyway, I appreciate your input, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Rashad.
Hey, peace and blessings, everyone. I'm sure my voice can carry over because I'm an educator. I'm a Baltimore resident of 35 years. I've been in politics for the last 19 years, from federal to state and local, right? I am a homeowner, just like Brittany here is a homeowner of Baltimore City. Thank you all for welcoming us into your space. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, so now that I can see that we're all engaged in listening and actively listening, because actively listening, that we open our ears for empathetic reasoning, right? So I want to say this in 2 things. One, I want to address your last comment, and I'm going to work backwards for the young lady that actually publicized in front of law enforcement that she was threatening people on beheading them to ride when walking down public streets. That one needs to be addressed. We're addressing dirt bike riding. I will say that. Accountability is 2 ways. Second, ma'am, I'm not sure who you are, but I am not here to attest your character. One, I can tell you, whoever you spoke to, riding dirt bikes in Baltimore City is not monolithic, like any black or brown person that operates as a resident or a human in Baltimore. We're not monolithic people, right? So one, we're not here to generalize and to speak for everyone, but what we will do is address the singular things that you all are saying. You have not spoken to anyone that participates in B360 that is riding in Fells Point with a dirt bike. How do you know? Because any rider or instructional leader of B360 that has a dirt bike that's been purchased through them is stored 24/7 until they have a permit to actually engage in riding.
With a tracker.
With a tracker that is noted in the tracker and it's noted in their mission and vision statement as an organization. Two, in the sense that B360 as an organization is the only nonprofit community-based organization in the country, basically in the world, that has correlated transferable skill sets of STEM education and dirt bike riding across the country. Is anyone sure if there's any college-age person or graduates that's in the room? Please raise your hand. I'll wait because I look around here and I know the median income of all house owners and more of you have college education, which means you're just listening to me and actually not engaging. Is there those that are in the room have college education here? Raise your hand. Can I get the space, Brittany? Thank you. So for my college educated people, let's correlate this to data because oftentimes we only correlate it to quantitative and qualitative data. There's the dirt bike thing that shows that young black people, do we know that the largest educational industry in America today is innovation, STEM, and technology? Do we know that the largest disparity gap of black and brown people in the industry is in tech, STEM, and innovation? Am I correct? Did anybody want to challenge me with this? All right. What B360 has done as a national fellow organization and a former scientist of NASA herself has correlated that there's a 30% transferable skill set rate of dirt bike riders that are legally ride down Baltimore City that have the same skill set to transfer into STEM education, tech, and innovation. So this organization has found a gap, a gray area, to actually engage culturally appropriate and insensitive promotion to get our young people to represent in the one field that is not fairly represented by black and brown people. So that's the one value of it. So we're going to singularly put that right there as a solution-oriented organization. Second, yes, dirt bike riding in Baltimore City is illegal, only solely, not from the state level, but local level in Baltimore. Why dirt bike riding is not illegal in Allegheny, Garrett County, Prince George's County, or anywhere else. But those areas, guess what, by its population are not majority minority residents. So since 1970, Baltimore City has a local ordinance that is the most de jure segregational policy in America. Dirt bike riding at one point in time was actually designated on our public parks. It is up until 1980s and that they started to move us from the public parks, and now that you see an increase in riding in your neighborhoods. Imagine one people being carpool in one neighborhood, and now 20 years later, because policy had not shifted in an advantageous solution-oriented approach, they're now here in your neighborhoods. So what Brittany is saying, no, guns are illegal, correct? Unless you have a permit, but people can still purchase guns. Dirt bikes is illegal, but they can still be purchased from motocross vehicles and storefronts. Right? Give me 1 second. I'll hold my time. Second, what we're doing here, this is not our first community association meeting. We've been in Patterson Park, we've been everywhere, and we're coming here as a solution-oriented practice. What we can do is talk to the riders, but what we can do is show you all how actually dirt bike riding should be inclusive of all of our communities. It is your same neighborhood that once demonized skateboarding that now has a skateboard park in the harbor.
It's about to be closed.
Needless to say, it still exists and has been legalized. Got it? The next part is this. There's no particular way to us to address it in like anything in Mayor Scott versus Brandon Scott, because this is an elected official that has been sworn in. And what we're going to do is respect our public servants. So we're going to put a handle on their names. And you all should be able to address each other as neighbors. And second, we're not going to address our young people as juveniles. Do you know only juvenile terminology is included in our criminal justice system? Our young people can no longer be seen and demonized as criminals if we're to falsely invest into them. So I'm not coming here to call out any other thing besides your moral compass. Do better. If you see these young people in your community, see them as your young person. Because we have sat down with your state elected officials and your local officials, and some of you all in here have ridden dirt bikes when you were teenagers. Your children have dirt bikes, and you don't like for them to be demonized. You're looking at these young people as not dirt bike riders, but they are scholars. Some of them are going on to higher education.
Some of them are already into higher education, and you have seen a young woman that has went from NASA that is now creating a program unlike any other. We're here to be solution-oriented people. We have diversion programming. We have STEM programming, free of cost. And we are here to be an asset and a solution to you. I thank you for your time. We're here to address it. You can find us any and everywhere. But I promise you, and I hope that none of you all are open-minded to be hitting anyone and using a slingshot and an ice cube that can actually harm everyone and cause even more. Baltimore City is addressing all of these as public health issues and not public safety.
Thank you.
Sure.
Can I just round it out too? Thank you.
Certainly appreciate the lecture that we just received.
Yeah, hold on.
But I just want to be clear that not all the people riding dirt bikes are black or brown, because the gentleman who created the accident last night, I believe, was white. So that's one thing. Number two, all we're asking is, are those dirt bikes tagged, titled, and registered?
That wasn't the question. The question was, were they B360? The answer is no.
No.
Right? And so no B360 dirt bikes are anywhere in your neighborhood, and that's what I want to make sure.
But what I'm asking, are your dirt bikes registered,
Yes.
tagged, and titled?
And have
Is that under
insurance.
Maryland law?
Yes, and have insurance. That's how we exist. Right? We have over $5 million of insurance,
Well,
period.
from the cycling classic, those dirt bikes were not tagged.
They don't have to be tagged because it's an off-highway vehicle, and that goes into the law. But all of our dirt bikes are insured,
I
registered.
disagree, but
They have tags. Why?
thank you for presenting, thank you.
Okay. We can wrap it up when people also put respect backers and stuff. Don't invite us into your house, right, and also not want to get answers. The question that was asked or was said that B360 got dirt bikes down here, we don't.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm gonna keep answering all these people questions, because y'all not gonna keep sending us down here to talk about this.
Actually.
What's your question?
Mine's not necessarily a question.
Okay.
First off, I thank you for.
I know. I'm here.
Before you finish,
We're well over schedule. We have two other guests. And this is, and finally,
Yeah, but if he wants to talk to you, want to have the same conversation.
he can talk after. You can talk to him after.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank
And
you.
that's not how you invite people to your house, as a guest.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wanted to get the opportunity to finish up.
Yeah, I was going, I've been cut off 3 times.
Yes, so okay, I want to let you finish.
Thank you.
Okay.
In conclusion, thank y'all for having us. Again, if you have questions about B360 directly, and I want to verify and clarify for the last time, what we're advocating for is infrastructure, right? Which means how do you stop people from riding your neighborhood, which we said is barricades, blocking off the streets, making sure you have speed humps, right? Simple things that we've seen work with the neighbors and Fells Point. The second thing is making sure you direct people through programming. Do not go and address riders directly, right? But if you see a person, if you see a young person, just talk to them and also let them know about us. The last thing, when y'all invite us into your neighborhoods, we would love safe, solution-oriented dialogue. Not to be cut off, not to make assumptions, and we have a very long track record, right? We can't get a $3 million earmark from Simmons Carden, Van Hollen, White St. Pume, and everybody else if we did things the wrong way. So please stop making assumptions. And thank y'all for having me.
Thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You did multiple times, but we're here now. Continue.
Okay, well, I guess I meant to.
Please don't be smart in hospital, because it will not go
Can
well.
we, so up next, we have Stephanie Marvernis from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety Engagement. Thank you.
Like, before you start, Stephanie, I'm sorry. What's the point in inviting us if y'all also gonna be combative? Right, like, this is me talking to you as a person to person. I got up there, said with me and say, no, we're not talking after, because I'm tired of being cut off. I don't care about extra time. What was the point in inviting us if we just talked downstairs about respect? Holding a microphone from me is not respectful. Cutting me off is not respectful. Right, and so again, if you wanted solutions, you want people to have respect, which we came here nothing but respectful, I also expect the same things, and I already addressed that downstairs. So if you're not man enough to do it, that's a different conversation. But what we're not gonna do is keep sitting here and be disrespectful.
I'm sorry, look, I'm sorry, I caused offense. We also have a very long meeting, and I'm doing my best to keep us on track. Okay, we are 30 minutes late right now. Right?
I'm aware.
Okay, that's it, like,
Yeah, but that's not how you handle it.
I'm sorry, yeah, I clearly lacked the tact to handle it correctly. I'm gonna turn it over to Stephanie Marmonis, and she can speak her piece.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Stephanie Marmonis, Director at the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. Before I jump in and share a little bit with you about the mayor and the city's youth engagement strategy, which we've activated about a month ago, I do just want to say B360 does amazing work. And we work closely with them on a number of initiatives. I know we work with them down here in the harbor. The work that they do is meaningful and has impact. And I appreciate that they're here tonight and we're able to share some of what they have to share. But I also want to share with you a little bit about what we've been working on in part together down here in the Inner Harbor in Federal Hill Park and also around the Inner Harbor Promenade up to Pratt Street. So our team at Monty is responsible for what we call youth safety engagement. We've been doing some work with a combination of coordination with law enforcement, our school police, Baltimore Police Department, but also working with non-law enforcement staff, city staff, mayor's office staff. I know I've been on the ground as well, to engage our young people. We heard a little bit about the curfew ordinance in general. If you're 14 and below, the curfew is 9 p.m. If you are below the age of 18, the curfew is 11 p.m. And so we engage our young people. We're not law enforcement, but we do coordinate and work alongside law enforcement to have proactive conversations with our young people, to work with staff who work inside of our schools, who know our young people, who can have conversations and de-escalate conflict before it turns into something violent. And so this is something we've been doing for the past 4 years. This year we started early, about 4 weeks ago during spring break. And we are continuing to engage in this work. We've taken what in the past has been about 14, 15 weeks long of an activation to almost half the year. We're out there now for 25 weeks. We use the headquarters inside the Inner Harbor Pavilion at B360 to gather our staff to do a nightly debriefing, and where we have young people who we identify who don't have a way home, who need to be reconnected with their parents who are out past curfew time, we can use that space to help get them to where they need to be. And so one of the other things that we're doing when we see a young person who's out, we know if there's a 10-year-old, 11-year-old who's out at midnight, that if they're unsupervised, there may be some other things going on that we need to address. So we try to connect them in the moment with resources. We try to make sure that we can connect people with jobs where they need them. Sometimes we talk to people and find out that something's going on in the household and we're able to connect them. It can be as simple as people's utilities. We've worked with some of the teen and pregnant young women who are down in the Inner Harbor who need connections to basic healthcare and other things. So we're doing some of this work. We don't just do it here around the Inner Harbor and Federal Hill Park and Inner Harbor Promenade, but we also do this in Fells Point, and we try to just be responsive to where our young people like to hang out. And so generally, you'll see our staff here on Friday and Saturday evenings, some holiday weekends as well, where we get information, for example, about planned teen link-ups or pop-ups. We'll do our best to put staff on the ground proactively, and we meet on a weekly basis with our partners in law enforcement to also share intel and make sure that we're coordinated and can make sure that everyone is having a safe summer. That's our priority. We know our young people, they're a part of the city too. They deserve to be in our public space, but we also want to make sure that everyone is being safe in doing that. And so that's part of what we do here. Now, I mentioned that we're kind of the safety engagement piece of the strategy, but one of the other things that you'll start to hear more about The mayor is going to be opening our rec centers until 11 p.m. That comes in a couple weeks, coinciding with the end of the school year. I think that starts the weekend after schools close this summer. We're going to be hosting a number of events. We just did a Teen Fest in Druid Hill Park where we brought together some of the influencers, musicians, other people that our young people really like, and had a turnout on Easter Sunday evening of over 1,500 young people who came together and had a really amazing and fun time. So we know that especially in a climate where our young people, like when I was young, we were hanging out at the mall. Now you cannot hang out at the mall. Like more and more of our public spaces are not open to our young people. And so we know that we have to create space for them to go. And so we're going to be doing a number of events in the community block parties, other community-based events. And we just want to make sure that everyone has a safe summer. So I'll say this, Monty is here as a resource. We work collaboratively with other partners. We're happy always to engage with you in this community. And I'll just say in the past 4 weeks, we've already had over 150 engagements with our young people. We've gotten over 30 requests for follow-up support that we're working through right now. But we continue to track data about our efforts. So if you see us outside in highlighter yellow shirts or reflective vests that say youth engagement staff or youth outreach staff, feel free to say hi to any of the people that you see. They're a part of our activation on this issue. And happy to answer any questions. That was just a slice of what we're doing, but definitely we'll share some of the information about what's coming up this summer as the events get planned, and I can share some of the information about recs and everything too. Oh, one last thing, summer school I know is also active at Digital Harbor High School this year. So as you've gotten used to probably over the school year, you've seen some of the staff from the movement team that are outside helping with what the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success calls Safe Passage. That work's going to continue through summer school because we know our young people will be coming and going. Their priority is to be outside, make sure that both our young people have safe passage, but also just providing a general public safety, public service in the community. So when you see the staff and the movement team around, we're all kind of collaboratively working together in this effort. So I'll leave it there and happy to answer any questions.